Hi, this is Mr. Kumar. In this video, we are going to learn about the light reactions of the photosynthesis. In the last video, we have learned about what is photosynthesis. So let's have a quick recap from that. Photosynthesis is energy from the photons or the light which is converted to a chemical bond energy in the form of NADPH and ATP. These NADPH and ATP is used to fuel the synthesis of glucose from carbon dioxide and water through the carbon fixation, and that is also called as the Calvin cycle. But in this video we are going to learn about the details how the energy is produced in the form of ATP and NADPH in the light reaction. So the main purpose of the light reaction is to make NADPH from NADP and to make ATP through the phosphorylation of the ADP, that is adding the phosphate to ADP to convert that into ATP. And who are the major contributors for these two processes is the light, the energy from the light and the energy of the electrons, and also the energy created due to the movement of protons against a concentration gradient. So these three are responsible for making the energy bonds that is in the form of NADPH and ATP. Let's look into the more detail about that. So the plants need light, and these lights are captured by a pigment called as chlorophyll. So there are two types of chlorophyll, chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B. Chlorophyll A absorbs blue, violet and red, reflects green. Chlorophyll B absorbs blue, orange and reflects green. Also there is a beta carotene which is responsible for giving colors to the carrots. These guys are responsible for capturing the light for the plants for the various activities in the light dependent reaction. Why the plants are green? Because they reflect and transmit the green color. Except the green color, they absorb all those colors. That's why the plants are green, because they reflect the green color. Now let's extract a chlorophyll molecule and shine light on this chlorophyll molecule. The electron in the chlorophyll molecule is going to absorb this light and is going to get excited and go to an upper state, which is also called as the excited state. But this electron from the chlorophyll, after the absorption of light which went to the excited state, is going to come back to its ground state. And when it comes back to the ground state, it's going to emit light and energy. This energy from the electron which came back to the ground state is going to be harnessed by the proteins in the chloroplast to do work. Let's look at the details how chloroplasts use the energy of electrons to do various kinds of activity, such as converting the NADP to NADPH and producing ATP. But before that, you need to know the structure of chloroplast. Chloroplast has two membranes, outer membrane and the inner membrane. Inside the chloroplast is an aqueous space, which is fluid-like space called as stroma, where the Calvin cycle takes place. And there are small sac-like structure called as thylakoid. And these thylakoids are stacked into each other. The whole stack is called as granum. This was the structure of chloroplast. Let's look inside what happens in the light dependent reaction. In thylakoid lumen, when the light shines, it splits the water. So the electron which is responsible for harnessing the energy, where does it comes from? It comes from the splitting of water. The water splits into oxygen, electrons and proton, and this process is called as photooxidation of water. So the oxygen which was produced in photooxidation of water is responsible for the atmospheric oxygen. So that's where the atmospheric oxygen comes from, that is from the photooxidation of water. And this electron which was produced due to the splitting of water goes to a process called as photosystem 2. And when it goes to this photosystem 2, the light strikes this photosystem 2, and the electron, due to the splitting of water or the photooxidation of water, it goes to a higher state, that is the excited state. And the energy from this electron, when it goes back to its normal state, is converted by the proteins to pump the protons against the proton pump gradient. So the energy from this electron which comes to the normal state, and the energy is used to pump in the protons against their concentration gradient. This electron, which is now at a normal state in photosystem 1, again the light shines on the electron which was in the photosystem 1, that goes again to the excited state, and this electron helps NADPH in the reduction of NADP to NADPH. So how does the production of ATP takes place? So the production of ATP takes place due to the proton gradients, and the proton gradients comes from the photooxidation of water and pumping in of the protons against the concentration gradient by these proteins in the thylakoid lumen. So these protons are not happy inside the thylakoid lumen and they want to go out. So only the place they can fit in to go out is the ATP synthase, the protein. So when they are moving out, or the energy of the proton going down its concentration gradient from the ATP synthase fuels the phosphorylation of the ADP to make ATP. So that's how the ATP is made. So this was the light reaction. In my next video, I'm going to discuss about the Calvin cycle.